What's up? What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of No Name Just Vibe Podcast. I'm Mike.
Janaya.
We back, man. Like I was saying, Janaya been sitting in here waiting on me. I had to get set up, and then I didn't eat before I came. I had to get some food in me, but we ready to rock now. Now look, my phone died. I can't even get to the topics. It's all good though. It's all good though. How you doing?
Good.
Doing good?
Yep.
How's your week?
You know, I had an eye-opening week, actually. I think I want to go to school to be a lawyer.
You want to do it all. Actress, spy, not lawyer.
I feel like with the lawyer, it'll help with me wanting to be a spy because I'll be at the crime. You know what I mean? I'll be like, what happened? You know, it'll help me with that.
I see.
But I really want to help people that are wrongfully convicted.
Okay.
I really, there's just a fire in me, and I was like, I didn't realize it till this week. I was like, I really get mad over that. Yeah, so I want to do it.
I would love to do something like that. I just don't have the discipline to go to school for that long. I don't. I don't. If it's not something like creative or I can I'd love to learn about it, like learn how it all works. But as far as like sticking it out to get the degree at the end, nah. It's just too much. But more power to you and everybody else who can. That ain't in me. It's not in me.
Well, you don't always have to go to school. You can do there's an apprenticeship. That's what Kim Kardashian does.
Okay.
That's what I was like, I could do that.
Okay.
All you have to do is find a lawyer and then just study under them. You still have to take the bar exam and all that. But heck yeah, that's fun.
I did not know that. Probably learn how to do it on YouTube now. You can learn how to do everything on YouTube. What happened this week that was eye-opening for you?
I don't know, just thinking about I want to do something. I want to do something poppin'.
I feel it. You know what? I've known that, what I'm doing now is what I'm supposed to be doing, but just kind of the week that I've had this week has been I know I'm in, I'm where I'm supposed to be. It's been a really good week, man. As far as like business and like actually making money, and then made a few really good connections this week. Did a really big interview this week. One that I had already filmed and shot and edit came out this week as well. So it's been a really good week. Really exciting. Really exciting week. Yeah. Connected with a old friend. It's never a real ever a lost connection because she my people's, but so But have been a little while. But every time we reconnect, it's it's like we just spoke yesterday. So that was good. So yeah, it's been a pretty good week for me. It's been a pretty good week. Very tiring. Very, very tiring, but worth it though. For sure. Yeah. I was about to say let's get into these topics. My phone is dead still. What was the first thing we wanted to talk about? Do you remember? We want to talk about having difficult conversations with friends.
I didn't know how to say it.
Having difficult conversations with friends, because we actually just in talking and again, that's what I love about podcasting. And just us speaking before the podcast, coincidentally, we both kind of have a situation where maybe a difficult conversation with a friend is warranted. And you were saying that you're eventually going to have the conversation because you can't, I can't be in the space. You said I can't be around you.
Yeah, I can't, act like we cool and we're not. I'm going to need to talk to you. Because it's one thing if we're not that close and you did something, I'm looking at you sideways. I may or may not have that conversation because we're not that close. So I don't know. Maybe that's just how you are. But if you were close to me and you did something foul, no, we're going to have to talk.
I feel it.
Yeah.
And see, your situation's much heavier than mine. Mine is heavy, and it's for real, that you did that to your friend, but yours is. We ain't gotta get into particulars, but yours is heavier than mine. Me, I feel as far as having the difficult conversation, I go back and forth because on the one hand, I'm if it's something that I think about and it's it's on my mind, then it's worth talking about.
Yeah.
But then on the other hand, I'm pretty sure I know what's going to happen with the conversation, and it's not going to be something that I necessarily agree with. It's not something that I can really beef about or want to get aggressive about, obviously. But if I just feel it's not a real, true, and honest answer, I'm gonna just be see, there was no point in me even bringing this up. You know what I mean?
But you'll never know unless
That's
you
true.
say.
And we're all good. We're fine.
Yeah.
We're fine. I just feel like sometimes I should have the conversation because I do think about it from time to time. But overall, we're
you
good.
Definitely should.
Yeah, I feel it. And again, you know the particulars of it based on what we was talking about. But I mean,
yeah.
I might one day. And at one point, I was like, no, we're gonna have this conversation. Like we have to. I never said that to him, but just in my own mind, I'm like, no, we have to have this conversation. But I don't know, about a week, maybe 2 weeks ago, I was like, you know what? For what? But it might happen, who knows?
It has to. Because it's like, I feel like that's a weight. Mm-hmm. Like, we're supposed to be friends. Mm-hmm. So, yeah.
And that's what I'm saying, we are.
Yeah.
So it's not like it's not.
But
really,
but they did something foul.
Yeah, it's not. It hasn't really hindered our friendship or altered our friendship. It's kind of like altered my. I don't want to say my view of my friend because I know him, and if I would have thought that situation all the way through before it happened, I probably could have assumed that he would have behaved the way he did in that situation. Mm-hmm. So I can't really say like it's shocking, but disappointing for sure. And I'm even careful with that because I used that phrase with somebody and they didn't really like that I said that it was not shocking but disappointing. It was like he was like, how could you say that to me? I'm like, I'm just telling you how I feel.
You disappointed me.
Just telling you how I feel. It didn't shock me. It didn't surprise me because that's who you are for the most part, with all due respect. Mm-hmm. But it's still disappointing.
Yeah, I just can't. If you like, for me, that's why I don't have a lot of friends because if you're my friend, like you're my friend. Like, don't do nothing snake around me. Like, 'cause I'm not gonna do that to you. Like, I hold you in the highest regard because you're my friend. Not everybody's my friend. So if you do something to me foul, I feel real weird about you. Like, I can't laugh and giggle with you. Nothing's funny right now.
Okay, let me ask you this. To your point about it's your friend and you wouldn't do that to your friend.
Yeah.
Do you expect people to behave the way you would or do things the way you would?
Absolutely.
You do?
Yes.
Exactly the way you handle it? You
Not exactly, but at the level that I would handle it with you because you're my friend. I hold my friend to the highest regard. That's why you're my friend. As far as like exactly how you would behave, not the, I guess, the regard or the respect level of the friendship or the situation. I mean, if it was a situation, like, because, you know, like, as I've gotten older, I realized you can't expect people to act a way you would act or behave a way that you would behave in any given situation. Yeah. So that's what I'm asking. Like, because that was really tough for me at first. Mm-hmm. That was really tough for me because I was like, but this is right. This is the right way to handle do it.
Right. And not even on no, like, I know it all thing or, like, you know what I'm saying? But just on a thing where it's like right is just right and wrong is just wrong. You know what I'm saying? But you can't always, people got different perspectives. Their right might be different from your right. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. You just gotta... Anyway, I've learned to not expect people to do things the way I would, no matter how disappointing or strange it might be.
But then, are you that person's? Like, are they like? What do you mean? Is it still equal to?
Okay, I'll give you an example. The way I am, if like in my friend group, we're all cool equally. Like, of course, there's going to be people that you gravitate to most, like more. Yeah. But we're all equal friends. We're all cool. Mm-hmm. If two of my friends are beefing, I'm not on either person's side. Yeah. I'm on the side of what's right. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And I know some people, and I'm not saying that that's the way I handle it is the right way. That's just how I handle it. Yeah. I do know, though, that some people are going to rock with the person that they're either closer to or that they met first. True. And those are two different ways to handle that situation. And the way I look at it, I think the way I choose to handle it, just rocking with what I feel is right, I think that's the right way. But if somebody tells me, like, I met this nigga since I've known this nigga since second grade, and I just met him in high school, then how could I tell him he's wrong for holding his man down and he's knows since free lunch, and he just met this dude 2 years ago? How can I tell him he's wrong? I feel like I could, but he could also look at me and be like, what are you talking about? This is my dog. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And so I've learned to not expect people to handle things the way I handle them.
Yeah. I don't know.
It's tough sometimes.
I'm more like you in the aspect of whatever's right. Like, because you're both my friend. I don't care if I just met you a year ago, 2 years ago, and this is my best friend since forever. Now, granted, I am my best friend. Like, don't mess with my best friend. But, like, if you're my friend, I'm going to still hear you out and hear what you have to say. Because my best friend's not right all the time, you know?
I'll take it a step further, even not just with friends, with family as well. If I got a cousin or one of my brothers that's a part of this friend group and my cousin is beefing with one of my friends, if my cousin is wrong, I'm going to tell my cousin he's wrong.
Yeah.
I'm not going to stand on my cousin's side just because we're blood related.
Yeah.
I don't do that. I stand on the side that the what I feel is right.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I feel you.
But like I said, how could I ever look at somebody that stands with their cousin against the friend? How could I look at them and tell them they're wrong and they're standing with their blood? You know what I'm saying? I've just learned to not expect people to handle things the way I would. And it's really disappointing in some situations.
I feel like we handle it the right way, though.
I feel it.
They're wrong.
Okay, and I'll say it like this. I do think it's the right way, too. I just can't say that I judge someone who handles it the other way. I don't.
I don't know if I would judge them, if that would be the right.
Because I can't say it's anything like stand up. Like just having a moral isn't stand up. I mean, you know what? I just tweeted or I was talking to somebody about this not too long ago. But I was my brother and I were having a debate. We were on the way back from Mexico, like out there. He was coaching and I was filming. He was coaching and I was filming a camp out there for some of the kids out there. It was really dope. Really, really dope experience. On the way back though, we were arguing about something and I was saying the way I would behave in that situation. And I was like, bro, what you're saying you would do, I would never in a million years do that. I would never do that, ever. And he was saying like, I'm not even gonna lie, I kind of forgot my point, but he was saying that was what it was. He was like, bro, he's like, just because you handle it that way, I don't think it's some moral and some stand-up thing just because you decide to handle it that way. And I said to him, I was like, I don't think it's stand-up, but it's definitely moral.
Yeah.
What's my morals are my morals. And if I say I would never do that, then I would never do that regardless of how I feel about the person on the other side of my decision or if there's money attached to my decision or whatever. I'm saying all that to say, I don't think just having morals makes you a stand-up individual. Because your morals could be whatever you want them to be. I think
your morals are right.
But who's to say what's right and what's wrong?
We know what's right and what's wrong.
But what I'm saying is, I don't think it's moral to simply have... I don't think it's stand-up to simply have morals. I think it's stand-up when you stand on your morals regardless of the situation. That's what I think makes a stand-up individual.
Wait, what's the difference? Because wouldn't you be standing up if you have morals? That's why you have morals? Some
people put their morals to the side in some situations.
So you don't have morals. Whatever you put, like, ahead of anything, those are your morals. Like, if you could sit up here and be like, oh, well, those aren't your morals. Whatever you pick is your morals. That's what you stood on.
Okay, what if your moral is, what if one of the things that you stand on is, and this is just the first thing that came to mind, I don't know why, I don't run from fights. I do not run. I don't care how big this nigga is. I stand up and I fight. Yeah. I do not run from nobody. But then you run up against a nigga that look like Devo, and you build like me, and in that situation you decide to run. You know what I'm saying? In that situation, you put your moral down. Even if it was maybe the smarter thing to do in that situation, you put your moral down for that situation. And people could say that was the right thing to do, it was the wrong thing to do, you make sure you didn't get beat up, whatever. But I wouldn't say that person is moral just because or stand up because you have a moral, because you put that moral down when you want to. I think being a stand-up person is standing on your morals regardless of the situation. If you don't run, you never run. If you don't tell, you never tell. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't waver in those morals. I think a stand-up individual is someone who doesn't waver in their morals.
True.
That's what I think.
That's true. Yeah.
Got a nigga on here preaching. Moving these notes.
That is true.
Oh, I had a question I was going to ask you before I went off on that little moral tangent. Let me see. Oh, you say you wanted to talk about like telling people you don't want to talk to them.
Yeah.
You mean like guys that want to like get your number or something, or just like annoying conversations in general?
Okay, both.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm just the type of person where, like, I'm nice. Like, if you ask me for my number or my Instagram, I ain't got a number. I only got an Instagram. I'm gonna give you my Instagram because, like, that's wrong. That's not. That's. Are you serious?
Because as a dude, it doesn't like getting the number is the one thing that makes us feel like we in there. The Instagram,
Really?
Everybody has the Instagram.
Well, I don't have a number.
I know, but you were saying you didn't have a number, but when you did, you would do it just to be nice?
Because you're asking me for my number,
you're giving off the wrong impression. If you give us the number, we think we in there. The Instagram is whatever. Anybody can look up the Instagram, you see all your pictures. If you got the sexy pics, you can see everything. Everybody, and if it's up there and everybody can see it, it ain't special because everybody can see it. But not everybody has your number. So if you give up the number, a dude gonna feel like you're in there. So you can't just be giving up the number just to be nice and then ghost them when they try to text you.
Oh, I don't ghost. I'll have a full-on conversation.
With somebody that you don't even want to talk to?
It's not even that I don't. It's not that someone I don't want to talk to. You can have a bomb conversation, but I may not be attracted to you like that. But we're having a cool conversation.
No dude is assuming that you gave him the number just to simply have cool conversation. He's gonna want to link up. He's gonna want to take you on a date.
Yeah.
He's gonna want to get to know you. No dude. I promise you this. No guy's asking for the number just to exchange good conversation. Yeah, just to be the homie. That don't happen. So you can't just be giving a number out for the sake of being nice. You can't be doing that.
But like, how do I tell? So that's awkward. If you come up to me and we're like, "Hey, can I get your number?" or whatever, and I'm like, "No." Oh my gosh, that would hurt your feelings. I don't like to hurt people's feelings, so I'll give you my number, but I'm not gonna lead you on.
Just say, "Oh, thank you, but I'm not interested."
That hurts their feelings.
So you don't like letting people down?
No, I don't. Like in that type of instance, no. Like with that, anything else, I don't care. I'll tell you straight up. Absolutely not. Mm-hmm. But with that, it's like, oh, you like me. Like, oh.
No, you can't be doing that. You can't be doing that. You can't be doing that. Okay, speaking of letting people down, let me ask you this. And people don't really dance when they go out no more. But in the time like back in the day, like when people actually danced at the club or danced at the party, if you was chilling with your homegirls dancing and a dude came up behind you and tried to dance, how did you react to that? And you didn't want to dance, how did you react
I'd be like, ooh. I'm like, I'm sorry, I don't want to dance right now.
That's the first thing you do.
Ooh.
Dang, that's tough. That's enough to make a nigga like pull a whole U-turn. Walk straight to the bathroom. Don't make eye contact with nobody.
That's why I feel bad.
Yeah, you definitely can't. You definitely can't give the number out if you're not interested. You can't do that.
Okay, but what about the Instagram? Because I don't have a phone number, and people think I lie about that too. I'm like, I really don't have a phone number. I have an Instagram.
I think the Instagram is cool because, like I said, that's everybody can see that. That's everybody can see that.
Yeah.
And now, see, this is another thing. You can't. I guess I can't even speak on that. That's not even a world I know about anymore. Never mind. But yeah, you gotta. The Instagram is cool. The Instagram is cool. Yeah. Dudes don't really have to worry about that too much.
About what?
Like telling people that you don't like them. Or that you're not interested.
Yeah, because you guys are get at the girls. Mm-hmm. Well, for the most part.
Because I can't remember even really being in them type of situations. I've been in situations where like somebody come up. No, that's not true. I have, but it's not very common. It's not very common. And for guys, I feel like, let me speak for myself anyway. We're so used to rejection that it's like.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, see, I can't deal with it. That's why I don't like for other people to feel like they're rejected. I don't want you to feel like you're rejected.
Once you get over the fear of rejection, life gets way easier. And then once it happens a few times, it don't even really faze you like that no more. And so you got to keep in mind, like, remember I told you I went to the performing arts school and I tried out for a few plays and didn't get it and had to audition in front of everybody. And then everybody look at the list and see you didn't get it. So I'm used to rejection. And then, you know, at the end of middle school, going into high school, like I told you, I was a late bloomer. So every girl I talked to was like, yeah, you're cute and all, but you like a little kid. And I'm the same age as these girls. Maybe a year or two younger, but they're like, you like a little kid. You know what I'm saying? So rejection ain't really...
Oh, maybe because you guys are guys.
Yeah.
But I ain't out here hollering at nobody.
I feel it.
Absolutely not.
But y'all, it's...
Gosh. But what if, like, somebody asked me, like, hey, you know what I do? And it's so horrible. But when somebody asks me, like, hey, so we should hang out or do something, I'll literally look at it and I won't respond. And they'll hit me back again. And I'm like...
Double text you, huh? What is it,
I didn't even respond to that. That's a bold move. I hate to do that.
And these are people that you gave your number to that are saying
this
we should
is
do
the
something?
Instagram, okay?
But did they... Okay, let me... It doesn't matter too much, but it matters a little bit. Did you meet them and you were talking, and in the midst of talking, they asked for the Instagram, or did they find your Instagram and that's how everything initiated?
Both. Like, to me, when people come up to me and ask me, like, oh, can I get your number, whatever, I'm not really, for the most part, I'm not really having a full conversation usually. It's just, like, in passing. So I'll give it to them, and then they'll hit me up. And then I'll be like, yeah, we could be friends. I don't say that, but, like, that's how I'm looking at you, because you didn't spark a twinkle in my eye. Like,
I feel it.
You didn't come up to me like how I want you to come up to me.
So it sounds like you're allowing everybody the opportunity to put a twinkle in your eye, but if they don't do it...
No, I'm not.
Well, if you give me your info out to everybody...
You're not putting a twinkle in my eye just because you came up to me. I didn't tell you to do that.
But I'm saying, but it sounds like you opening the opportunity for everybody if you just giving the info to everybody.
But that's not an open opportunity, because first comes how you... I look at it like this. How you come up to me, like how you approach me, like that's my number one, like turn on. Like how he stepped to me like that, like, ooh, okay, yeah, you can have...
But regardless of how I step to you, I don't want to just hear the whole thing, not regardless of how I step to you. Regardless of how I step to you, if the end result is you giving me the phone number, then I'm going to feel like the way I stepped to you worked.
Well, it didn't, so...
But if I got the number, I'm going to feel like it.
You got the Instagram.
Okay, that's fair enough. That's fair enough. Speaking of Instagram, you know it's and it sounds like a flex, and I just thought about that right now. Dang,
Flex.
I don't want to talk about it now. I'm starting to, speaking of Instagram, I'm like starting to like have to get used to people recognizing me from Instagram and from YouTube.
Period.
Which is cool. It's cool, but it's weird though. I told her not too long ago. I think I was telling Jesse. I told her a story about I fumbled on PPR, and people were like, I told that story on my sports show, and like people just like, I remember I was filming at the Switch Pro. No, I was filming somewhere in some basketball game. And people are just walking up to me, telling me like, "Oh man, I fumbled," like, or just telling me their stories about PPR. Like, man, when you fumbled on PPR, that was so funny, bro. Like,
really?
And I'm like, I remember one dude, like, it happened like 3 different times. 3 people came up to me and
Wait, what do you
told me
mean
you
fumbled?
You
fumbled the ball, like somebody threw you a ball?
Yeah, like when I played high school football, I had a kick return, I fumbled, and that, it's not a highlight, it's a low light. That play made it on PPR.
Really?
And Paul Rudy called the play. Yeah, and I'm telling the story how like the girl that I liked at the time was she was at my house that night. Like my parents did not run that kind of house. Let me not make it sound like that. So my sister Tyne lived in our complex, and I used to talk to her homegirl. And her homegirl was at her house. And then when we got back from the football game, they came over to the house. Oh, okay. And so I'm watching PPR with the girl that I like at the time. And I got her like sitting under my arm on the couch, and we watching PPR. And outside of that fumble, I had a pretty good game. You know what I'm saying? I had a pretty good game. So I'm thinking like, oh, some of my highlights might make it. Hopefully the fumble don't. But I had some pretty good plays, so hopefully they make it on PPR. So I'm sitting on the couch. She's sitting under my arm right here. PPR come on, and sure enough, my fumble comes on. I'm all trying to look big time with the girl right here. And all that, yeah. And I told super embarrassing. And I told that story. I told that story on my sports show. And people were coming up to me, like, out in public, like, oh, man, that was so funny. And I'm not even thinking about, like I told it, because I don't, I do the show, I talk about what I talk about, then I go edit, I go work. I don't even think about what I was just talking about on the show.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So I post a video, or, you know what I'm saying, people see it, they see the episode, or they hear it, I already consumed it. And they asking me about it, like, out. I'm like, oh, that was so funny, the fumble, and I'm looking like, nigga, how do you know that? How do you... And then my boy Tito, the first guy who said something to me, and I'm looking at him like, how do you know that? And my boy Tito was like, bro, your show is doing so well, man. I'm so proud of your show. And I was like, oh, that's from the show. Cause I was really looking at this nigga like, how do you, I don't even really know you like that. When would I have told you that story? You know what I'm saying? And it just happened to me not too long ago. I was walking somewhere, and this dude, I'm carrying my backpack, and I got my laptop bag, and this dude was like, he was like fixing something, like screwing something in, and he turned around and looked at me. He's like, Michael Flicks, right?
Aww.
And I was like, yeah. And I'm looking at him. I was like, did I meet you somewhere, bro? He was like, nah, bro. I follow you on Instagram. I like your show, bro. You do good work. And I was like, oh, I appreciate that. And it's always like, it feels good, but it's like it's weird because I always feel like a jerk, like not
because you don't know them.
Not because I don't know them, but not just off top understanding where they recognize me.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I know that I don't want to say I've been accused of. It makes me sound like I'm completely innocent. In the past, I guess I've given off the vibe that I think I'm big time or that I think I'm hot stuff or something like that.
What's wrong with that?
Nah, you don't want to get... If people think you are, that's
well, you
one
should
thing.
think highly of yourself. You shouldn't be like...
But you don't want to get...
big-headed, like...
Right.
Not
You
like
want to
that.
feel like you're good at what you're doing, like me. I want to feel like I'm good at what I do and that my platform is dope. But I don't want to be walking around with my nose up like I'm dope out here. Like, you know what I'm saying? You just...
I mean, it depends on how you...
You don't ever want nah.
A humble, like...
And I believe I'm very humble and very confident, but you don't want to walk around like with your nose up or like walk around like you don't want to wear... Boom, that's a good phrase. You don't want to wear your success. You just want to have it inside you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You don't want to wear it and everybody like Paul Rudy. Like I had him on the show. Like he don't want Emmys. His show has generated so much money for KUSI. Yeah.
Oh wow.
And if he walked around, he does not at all walk around like I'm the creator of the Prep Pigskin Report. He's just a regular dude. Like he showed up the other day in like an old PPR t-shirt and some jeans. Bought a shirt before he left. You know what I'm saying? Was showing love. Like he's a super cool, humble dude. You would never he don't walk around like.
Yeah,
you know
you're
what I'm saying?
right.
You don't want to wear your success. Like, I don't.
You don't want to do that. You're right.
Because you look at people like my boy Aaron Tinsley, and it's a few other people.
The Helix.
Yeah, like it's been a few people that my boy Lorenzo Keeler, both of which I've had on my sports show. I met them when they were younger, especially Aaron. I've known Aaron since like 4th grade, and I met Lorenzo when I was in 7th grade. So I've known both of them for a really long time. I knew both of them before they were big-time high school basketball players and professionals and all of that. And they have never changed. Not the way they treat me anyway.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They've never like walked around like a
you better not.
Big time.
Okay, I feel what you're saying.
There's people that do though.
But I look at it as confidence that you know who you are. I feel like everybody always has to like pin themselves up against somebody else. It's not that. I look at it as you popping. You know you popping. You out here. You want everybody else to be popping. If everybody's popping, then everybody's popping. But I know I'm popping.
Right. Exactly.
You know?
I think it's okay to know you popping. You still gotta have humility though. You still gotta have
Absolutely.
Like okay.
I look at it as like you're a jerk.
Yeah. It's two. And I'm not gonna use any names. If anybody can read between the lines, then that's on these players. I didn't make them behave the way they behave. So there's two really high-profile basketball players from right here in San Diego. Both of them have at this point left San Diego and gone on to bigger and better things. Put it like that.
I think I know who one of them you're talking about.
Okay.
And I love them.
You might. They've both gone on to do bigger and better things, right? Mm-hmm. One of them, every time I see him, what's up, Flicks? How you doing, bro? Mad love.
Oh, yeah. A regular person.
Regular guy. The other guy, when he came back, was like down talking his peers. Like just big time walking around with his chin up, like
okay, that's ugly.
You know what I'm saying? Talking to me, kind of crazy. Not nothing where it's like super crazy like that, but to where I had to ask him, like, bro, who are you talking to? You know what I'm saying? And before he was super lit like that, it was, hey, Flicks, can you come to the hallway and take some pictures for me real quick, bro? Can you help me out real quick? Like that type of thing. And I'm going to always do it because that's the type of dude I am. I'm going to always show love.
And he switched up on you like
and
that?
And now you super lit. Now you talking kind of crazy, you know what I'm saying?
That is so ugly to me.
And again, it goes to humility. No matter how lit you are, you got to be humble. You got to have humility. And I think it also who raises you or who your
people are, actually.
Let me not say who raises you. I don't want to disrespect anybody's mom and dad. I did not mean that. Who your people are. No. Who you surround yourself with. Let me say that. Because it doesn't have to just be your parents. It's who you surround yourself with when you leave the house. So I feel like one of these dudes, inside and outside of the home, he got people in his life that's going to be like, bro, you don't treat people like that. Regardless of who you are, you don't treat people like that. The other dude is like, bro, you the man, you lit, da-da-da-da. And I'm going to just leave it at that, so.
I just hope you're not talking bad. I'm not bad, but, like, I hope the person that I'm thinking about is not the person that I love.
I'll tell you off air.
Yeah, I would, like, literally probably shed a tear if he was like that.
I doubt it's what you're thinking of.
Okay.
I doubt it's because these people aren't our age.
No, they're not.
Okay.
I don't even know how old he is.
Yeah, these people are not our age.
They're younger?
Yeah.
Is he younger?
I'll tell you off air.
Okay.
I'll tell you off air. You see, Derek Chauvin got convicted on 3 counts.
I watched when they read him his rights.
Me too. I had to. Was sitting in front of the screen. I kept thinking my computer froze because they just had the camera just on the judge's chair for mad long.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting there just like hitting refresh, thinking it froze, and I'm just looking at my phone. I just hear talking all of a sudden. I'm like, oh snap! Turned my phone on, recorded it. I'm glad he got all 3 counts, man. I'm glad he got all 3 counts.
To me, it's a hard one because I know I was sitting here like, you know what? Well, he has to go to jail.
Mm-hmm.
I just never want to be the person to applaud that somebody, even though he did horrific, horrible, disgusting thing. It doesn't make me feel good that everything happened like that somebody died, that you had to go to prison. Like, it's just so heavy. I don't like any of it. At all.
I definitely differ from you on that. I don't ever wish for anybody to lose their freedom that hasn't killed anyone and that hasn't like molested or touched women or children. Yeah. If you haven't killed, raped, or molested, I'm not gonna waste jail time on you. Like if you can get away, I'm not gonna say if you can get away with it, but I'm not gonna waste jail on nobody that hasn't done those things.
Yeah.
Chauvin obviously has done one of those things. Yeah. So now he needs to either be killed or he needs to spend the rest of his life in prison. That's how I feel. If you take a life, your life deserves to be taken as well. If you purposely take a life, and I believe he did that on purpose. If you purposely take a life.
Yeah. I just really feel that everybody can get another chance. Like, you need to go to jail, of course, for some time. But I don't believe in jail for life. I don't feel like I can make that judgment on somebody else's life. Like, you go to jail for life.
Well, you didn't. A judge did.
I feel like only God could do that.
How is God going to come down? Well, then he got to come down here and Come on.
Well, I mean, that is then hell.
People gotta pay. People gotta pay for the things they do, man.
They do, but I just don't feel like anybody. I just feel like everybody's redeemable. I really feel that way. Like you could do. I just feel like this is how I am. I want to know why, like who you are as a person, to help me understand why did you do that? Like, why did you grow up and something happened to you? Like, why do you hate black people? Do you truly have hate in your heart? Like, I feel like if we can solve those problems within you, then you can, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But I just don't look at anyone as like, oh, you're like, you can never come back from that.
There are a lot of mistakes. I was going to say most, but I don't know if I'll go as far as to say most. There are a lot of mistakes that I'll agree with you on that. That I agree that let's figure out what's going on with you, like internally and mentally. Let's rehabilitate you and make sure you don't do that anymore. There's a lot of mistakes that I agree with, like with that. Mm-hmm. But killing, raping, and molesting, nah.
Well, that with the raping and molesting, those people themselves have had traumas.
Not all of them.
You have to.
Not all of them.
You would have to.
Some people are just sick.
Nah, that's too deep.
What about the little white boy? I forget his name. Little college white boy that was playing lacrosse. Got the girl drunk, raped and molested her, and the judge let him off because it was like, oh, I don't want this to follow him around for the rest of his life. I want him to go to school and be able to get a job. I don't want him to be a felon and all this and that.
Well, the judge is wrong, and I agree.
I'm speaking to your point of people that do those things had something happen to them. He came from a home. His parents had money. He was very privileged. Lived a great life. Nothing ever happened to him.
He said he raped.
He got her drunk and molested her.
Well, then he has an overly sexualized spirit. I realized that as well.
Now that I'll believe with, but that doesn't mean something happened to him.
True. Mm-hmm. But something's going on is what I'm trying to say.
Fair enough.
Whether it be, well, it's all spiritual, but like whether something physical and spiritual is going on with you or just spiritual, something's going on. And that's why I just feel like, I don't know, I just want to give everybody a chance. Nah. I know. It's too. I know.
You took it too far. It's too big. I'm talking about the person that kills or rapes or molests. Like it's too far off. There's no coming back from that. Those are mistakes that once, like if you steal something from somebody, if I steal your car, if I steal your money, if I steal your clothes, if I steal your wedding ring, those are all things that you love and that. Your wedding ring, it might be irreplaceable. We can go and get you another wedding ring. We can we can try to go recreate that ring, even if it's never going to be duplicated. Yeah. All those things can be replaced. You rape somebody, take away their innocence, they can't get that back. You definitely can't take a life back. You know what I'm saying? So like, what do we do with you? We can't reverse what you did. We can't take any of that back.
You can't reverse what that person did, but you can.
And that's why I feel like it ain't no coming back. Like you gotta go.
But what if they got counseling? What if they turn their life around? Like truly, I'm not talking about fake turn their life around. I mean like you truly see what you did. Now, with that person that you hurt over here, well, if they're alive, like that person has to get counseling in themselves so that they're not going around hurting. It's just like a vicious cycle, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Some people, not everybody that was molested or raped or whatever is out here doing that to other people, but a lot, and I shouldn't say a lot, but that's the cycle.
And then how do we know when someone is officially and properly rehabilitated? Like, nah.
Oh, so you wouldn't, I just feel like people should be given chances and like
I agree, just not for those mistakes. Not for those mistakes. It's just like some women, right? It's not even just some women, some people, right? They feel like in a relationship you can make a mistake, you can forget everything you want. You can forget the anniversary, you can mess up this way, you could blow all the money. Yeah. Like if you cheat, there ain't no coming back. It's just some people, that's how they feel. If you cheat on me, there ain't no coming back from that. And that's just how I feel about those two mistakes.
But that's with you.
Yeah.
What if somebody else? But what if somebody else can like speak to them how they're supposed to be spoken to, where they realize what they've done, and they've taken those weights off of them. I don't
You
know.
can, and I'm happy for you. But with your new lease on life, you go ahead and spend the rest of that new lease on life behind bars. Or you get to come free and let me deal with you if you harm my people that way.
No,
Yeah, let them out. Let them out.
No.
We'll deal with it. We'll deal with it.
See, I would I was about to say I'd rather have him get beat up by the homies, but they would kill him.
There's some people that it's better offered than that they behind there.
Yeah, but did you see that he got into it with what happened? A black man or a black kid, I don't know, in jail. Like something happened with Chauvin, or Chauvin in there. Oh my God,
I seen his mugshot though.
Much.
Seen his mugshot, nigga look like he just got done crying. That's what he get. One thing though, I be so surprised how they just can sit in court and hear the guilty verdict and just sit there so calm. I can only imagine like what he's saying to himself and how many backflips his stomach is turning. But for him to just sit there with maybe he knew like I'm going away. Maybe he knew it was already coming, but he just like it didn't look like any like damn, like no kind of remorse, no kind of damn I'm going away for the rest of my life, like nothing. He just sat there. I don't know how they'd be doing that. I don't know how they be doing that. I couldn't do that.
And maybe also I speak like that because it's not someone that's close to me, being completely honest, that I could sit here and say that. But, if somebody did that to somebody close, I would literally murder you. Yeah.
And now you be behind bars too. So you gotta just let you know what I'm saying?
No, they deserve it.
I agree. I agree.
But
I've always like when what you do, it what's right is that comes back to you. When I used to work at the middle school, I used to even tell kids that. Like if like kids used to act like they gonna get tough, you know me, I'm not big, and especially when I was like 18, 19, I probably looked like, you know what I'm saying, I was in middle school, probably a little bit still. So kids, you know what I'm saying, there's bigger 8th grade, 7th grade dudes acting like they're getting tough. I'm like, bro, I don't need this job like that. Like, don't come over here and hit me. You know what I'm saying? I used to tell them, like, I'm not going to hit you. But if you hit me, you do deserve to get hit back. I got cousins your age. You deserve to be hit. And I used to tell them, like, I'm not going to hit you. Because I'm a grown man and I'm getting a lot of trouble for that. Yeah. But just because you're a kid don't mean you get to just hit an adult and nothing happens because you're a kid. Same thing with a woman. You can't just hit a man and just be like, well, I'm a woman and he's a man, he's not supposed to hit me. Like, no, keep your damn hands to yourself. Yeah. Now me, when I hit a woman, I hit me, no, I'm gonna run. I'm gonna run, you know what I'm saying? But if you hit someone, you deserve to be hit back.
Yeah. I don't know, just being forgiving to me is, maybe it's something that I struggle with in those types of aspects, but it helps me not to hate people. Mm-hmm. But I struggle. I don't even know I don't know what to do. Like,
I struggle with forgiveness for sure. I feel like I've gotten a lot better.
Oh, that you don't forgive people?
No,
really?
It's hard for me.
Oh my gosh. Really?
Yeah, and it's like I say it a lot because like I want to not own it and not get better at it, but like just being true to myself and knowing that's, is it a flaw? Just knowing that is a character trait that I have. You know what I mean? But yeah, I have a hard time forgiving people. I've gotten better over the years, a lot better, because it used to be like bad.
My sister is like that too.
But I don't. Now, I judge things more on intent, like what you meant to do, what you tried to do, or what you meant to say. But,
and that's where I'm like, that's why for me it's like, okay, I hear what everybody's saying, but did you truly mean to do that?
Exactly.
Did you truly mean to do that? Because we can work from there. I can't. Yeah. Oof.
I'm still gonna be, now if you do something to offend me, if you didn't mean to, if I'm offended, I'm offended, and I'm gonna still tell you that I'm offended. But now if you tell me that well, I didn't. If you tell me you didn't mean to, and you tell me what you were trying to get across or what you were trying to do, then I can deal with that a little better. But, and it's like, nigga, what you mean if you know? But if I know you know what you did, and you still trying to tell me, oh, but I didn't mean to, I didn't think to, that's gonna make me want to not forgive you even more.
Wait, say that last part again. If you know that they meant to do what they were doing, and then they try to say like, oh, I didn't mean it like that. Yeah, that would tick me off. Because I know you tried to do it on purpose.
that and like halfway like fake apologies, like, well, I'm sorry that you were offended. Like, no, bro, that's not an apology. I'm sorry that you were offended.
It's not. It's not.
Yeah, I base things more on intent. Actually, I was telling you about it not too long ago. One of my best friends. We'll be cool again one day, but we're not cool right now because he said something sideways out his neck. And like he said it with the intent to
hurt you.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And if he would have just said those things and it hurt me, but he just, in the course of him speaking, he just said it, then I'd still be hurt. I'd be like, damn, bro, I ain't gonna lie, bro. When you said X, Y, and Z, you had a nigga in his feelings. Like, that hurt my nigga. Like, I'd be like, for real? That's one thing. But when I know you said that to try to hurt me, that's like, what do I do with that?
Yeah.
What do I do with that? Because friends, like loved ones, don't do that.
Exactly.
I don't jump off the deep end like that. Maybe because I've always been really sensitive and I know like how powerful words are. And even if, like I said before, even if you don't remember the words, you remember the circumstance and how you felt. I'm conscious of that. You know what I mean? So when people decide, because it's a choice, when people choose to say and do things like that, I gotta take a step back and create some distance.
Yeah. Ugh. That's just something I struggle with. But I definitely don't go out of my way to hurt people. Like, I don't like making people feel bad. Like, I don't care if you tried to make me feel bad. I wouldn't want you to feel that way. And that's just like, maybe that's not, I think it is good. I wouldn't want to be it any other way. I wouldn't want to go out here and be mean to people just because they hurt my feelings. That doesn't make me feel good for anybody. So I don't look at that as something bad about myself. Even with forgiving, like I probably shouldn't forgive a lot. But you gotta be forgiving. I feel like for me, it's just like you gotta be forgiving,
and it's free.
It's light.
It's free.
Yeah, maybe that's why I'm so light. Like I just It's
free, and I don't like. I don't put a lot of stock into when people like, oh, what do they say? I'm living rent free in your head. I'm living rent free in your head. I don't. Okay. I don't.
You're like my sister.
Okay.
Hilarious.
Yeah, I'm gonna think about it. If it bothers me, I'm gonna think about it, and it's gonna be up there.
Yeah.
Like
but you're not sitting here dwelling on it.
And that's I guess why I'm saying, okay, who cares? Because I'm like, we got 4 podcasts now where I come in here and I tell you like personal stuff going on with me that I've been dealing with for a minute, right? But obviously, I just told you I had one of the best weeks I've had, like in front of my little broadcast career so far. Obviously, I'm still out here pushing forward and thriving. Yeah, I'm thinking about you in that situation, but it's not holding me back in my life.
But I think that people like you, they don't sit around and like, no, like if you happen to cross my mind and you did something,
even if it's
I'm thinking about what you did.
And for me, even if it's not you cross my mind, even if it's no, nigga, you're on my mind for bad reasons. Whatever. Yeah. I'm still gonna do me. I'm still gonna live my life. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I bet like when we first got reconnected and it's been nothing but catching up and smiles and everything happy. I bet you had no idea. Like, this nigga been dealing with some kind of heavy stuff. You would have never thought. You know what I'm saying? Because it's not like. And then also, and here's another thing. And then also like, you could say like, oh, I'm living rent free in your mind, or you living rent free in somebody's mind. Okay, what if they come to collect rent?
Oops.
That's how I look at it. What if they've decided, okay, today is the day you get evicted, and the only day you get evicted is I gotta come and see you.
Oh.
Because that's a possibility too.
That is a possibility. But
that's why I never thought that. I was like, oh, I'm living rent free in this nigga mind. Like, okay. But I've been overthinking my whole life, so maybe that's why I'm looking at it like whatever. Like, so anyway.
Yeah. And I am just like not an over. I started to be one in these past 5 years, I want to say. Yeah, since I turned 25, I think I started thinking more deeply, because before I was whatever,
Me
just
too.
floating around, I'm living life.
Me too.
Did I hurt your feelings? Oh, I didn't mean to. I didn't know. What did I say? I'm sorry. But now I'm like, oh, I hurt that person's feelings. What did I do? Like, I want to make sure that I don't do that again. But it does get to be very weighty, because then you're moving around how, like, oh, I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings. I don't want to, you know what I mean? It's just like, leave me alone.
I feel it. It's another good podcast. I like that. Now, like, you know what's dope? What's really dope is, like, it's 2 weeks in a row now where, like, the bulk of the stuff that we talked about wasn't even stuff that, like, we wrote down. Because last week the whole podcast turned into stuff that wasn't even on the list, which is dope. That was dope. Did you see any of the comments on those videos?
Yeah, some of them. And I feel like we watching it back. Oh, I do want to say something about the whole women's thing, because I had a conversation with my best friend, and she was telling me, like, you know, like, queens, they, like, sometimes the kings had the queens running the joint or whatever, running it. But I just feel like the man should have the final say. And what I mean by the man, that means that it's either your husband or your father or your somebody who you look up to, because that's what, when I want, like, good advice, I go to my dad, because I'm not married. So, and my dad gives me sound advice. I may not agree with it all the time, but I know that he's right, and it's sound advice. And that's just the feeling that I have, and I look at men with, you know what I mean? Like, if I go to a woman, like, you're on my level, so I'm not, you can bring me up a little bit level if you have more experience than me, but it's different from a man. It is totally different, and it's, I don't know, it's a calming that is put in me. Yeah, so that's why I'm just like,
that definitely puts some context to it.
Yeah.
So I know my people see in the comments like, oh, come on, she bugging. I love it though. I think next week we're gonna have Sarah B on the podcast. That's gonna be a lot of fun.
Okay, I don't know who that is, but alright.
Yeah, Sarah. You met her when we first came here. Sarah.
Oh, okay.
I feel that you really want to be around when we do the pod. Sorry. It's been another episode of the No Name Just Vibe podcast. I'm Mike.
Janaya.
Thank y'all for rocking with us, man. We'll be back next week.
Yes.